بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أفضل الرسل وسيد المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وآله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today, very quickly, I would like to conclude the session until 9:15, and by this time, which we have about 25 minutes, I want to cover the topic of Al-Ghusl, which is all known with the word ghusl, bathing. And this is the second hukm mentioned in ayah number 6 of Al-Ma'idah, which we have studied previously. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu idha qumtum ila salati faghsilu wujuhakum wa aydiyakum ila al-marafiqi wamsahu bi ru'usikum wa arjulakum ila al-ka'bayn wa in kuntum junuban fattahharu. So the word fattahharu in Quran, that's where exactly Allah is commanding us that when we are afflicted with major type of impurity, which is hadasul akbar. In Arabic term, there are two type of impurity. One is al-hadathul asghar, when a person go for istinja and then he needs wuzu, that is called hadathul asghar. And when a person is in need of ghusl, that is called al-hadathul akbar. So when a person is afflicted with the heavy type of impurity, which is known as al-hadathul akbar, that's where he cannot become pure and tahir until he make ghusl. Allah Azza wa Jal says, fattahharu, you make ghusl if you are afflicted with the heavy type of impurity. So that is what mentioned in ayah number 6 of Al-Ma'idah, and this is the second hukam we are studying. We have done wuzu with all of the sunan, all of the mustahabbat, and the faraiz of the wuzu. Also, we have covered somehow with everything covered in it. So today's part is al-ghusl, and ghusl is also something very important to know. Many people they do not have exact understanding about al-ghusl. When it comes to discuss, we try to confuse. So if we follow these all words here, number one, what is al-ghusl? A little bit definition is mentioned here. Al-ghuslu ma'anahu ta'mimul badani bil ma'. Al-ghusl means covering entire body with water. Means you pour water in such way where every part of your body, every hair or underneath of hair would be covered with the water. That is called al-ghusl. وَهُوَ مَشْرُوعٌ لِقَوْلِ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى وَإِن كُنتُمْ جُنُبًا فَطَّهَّرُوا. I mentioned the word فَطَّهَّرُوا, that is the direct indication of al-ghusl. And Allah has mentioned in several places these words فَطَّهَّرُوا in Quran as well. So ghusl was mentioned in several places of Holy Quran. There are several reasons because of which ghusl become obligatory and wajib. There are 5. يجب الغسل لأمور خمسة. Because of 5 reasons ghusl become obligatory, and that is listed here with the support of the ahadith of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as well some of the verses of Holy Quran also. That's where Allah Azza wa Jal has mentioned. And most of those mujibat is well known to all of the brothers sitting here, and I'm trying to avoid that, to going into more detail about it. So the 5 major reasons by which ghusl will become obligatory. I will try and explain that inshallah aziz in due course. Now, there are some places in which ghusl is like not known to us, like for obvious reason we all know. But one of the reason where the ghusl will become wajib is when a person who was a kafir, non-Muslim, accept Islam, then ghusl will become wajib for him. And I believe many of the time we see people are accepting Islam, so it is wise that we indicate that person, explain to him that before you accept Shahada or before you utter the words of Shahada, it's better for you to go and take ghusl. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu also was approached by his sister Fatima bintul Khattab radiallahu anha to take ghusl. So here also, out of 5 major reasons by which ghusl will become obligatory, one reason is that when a person accepts Islam. Out of 5, another reason, second, is al-maut. When a person die, then right after death also he will become impure, because he does not know what happened to him or his body, and therefore we always make sure and we take extra precaution that a Muslim person, male or female or a child, die, then before Salatul Janazah we give ghusl. And that ghusl also is being given completely adhering the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is the second mujib and the reason for the ghusl will become wajib. Third is specific for the women, and fourth and fifth, that is common for both male and female. So these are 5 reasons for which the ghusl will become obligatory. Now, when a person is afflicted with these 5 type of reason where the ghusl is obligatory, then automatically he cannot perform salah. Number 2, he cannot make tawaf. Number 3, he cannot touch Quran, or he cannot carry massul mushaf wa hamluhu. Now, in this regard, somehow we see some people, they bring an argument. They says, when Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in the Quran, La yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun, then mutahharun word that has a dual meaning in it. One meaning which Mufassirin have mentioned, that those of the angels who stays right in the company of Allah Azza wa Jal, high ranking angels, they are meant from it. And therefore those people says that is not the literal meaning of mutahharun, and therefore touching Quran or carrying Quran in a state of impurity and a heavy type of impurity is allowed. But it is mentioned here, which is the comparative fiqh, with opinion of most of the jurists, that it is safe and it is with adab, that without going into deeper argument, carrying mushaf with ghusl, with purity, it is recommended. Now, the technical mas'ala can be there, but when you are suggesting someone, recommending someone, then you have to take precaution and you try to make person mu'addab with the Kitabullah Azza wa Jal. And this is what the khulasa mentioned here. Number 4, qira'atul Quran. Even a person in a state of najasa, heavy type of impurity, he cannot read Quran even from his memory. Is not allowed. Yes, now the question will come. There are, timing in which person would remain with the heavy type of impurity long time, days. Then what will happen? Then it is mentioned that the reciting Quran should not be as a Quran. Like, let's say if he has adhkar daily, reciting Ayatul Kursi, Qul A'udhu Al-Falah, Qul A'udhu Bin-Nas, Qul Huwallahu Ahad, as a zikr you can do. But as a tilawatul Quran, it is not allowed. It is mentioned, يَحْرَمُ عَلَى الْجُنُبِ أَنْ يَقْرَأَ شَيْئًا مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ إِنْدَ الْجُمْهُورِ. There is no dispute of any faqih or jurist in it. Everyone agreed that it is not allowed to read Quran. And supporting dalil is mentioned here, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كان لا يحجبه عن القرآن شيء ليس الجنابة. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that except one thing, that is janaba, if a person is afflicted with it, person should not read Quran. Now, reason being, Kitabullah is the inseparable quality of Allah Azza wa Jal, Kalamullah. And Kalamullah is a very special, a speech which is directly from the Zat of Allah Azza wa Jal. And Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahmatullahi alayh, when people started calling that Quran is makhluk, and it is separated from the Zat of Allah Azza wa Jal, then Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahmatullahi alayh, he was afflicted with the very special persecution. And we know that that time was a very trying time for Sayyidina Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahmatullahi alayh. So Reason being, Kalamullah is an inseparable quality of Allah Azza wa Jal, and therefore it has to be regarded with full and utmost respect. It is mentioned in another hadith also, and that is reported by Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, رأيت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم توضأ ثم قرأ شيئا من القرآن ثم قال هكذا لمن ليس يجنب فأما الجنب فلا. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this hadith also says that when a person is in a state of janaba, he is not allowed to read Quran. He said sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Fala, don't read when you are in a state of janaba." This hadith is mentioned by Imam Ahmad rahmatullahi alayhi in his Musnad. There is some argument and discuss is being made here. Sayyidina Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi, Imam Ibrahim ibn Nakha'i, and Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, these three names is mentioned that they used to consider reading Quran even in a state of impurity. وكان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يذكر الله على كل أحيانه. قال الحافظ تعليقا على هذا لم يصح عند المصنف يعني البخاري شيء من الأحاديث الواردة في ذلك أي في منع الجنب والحائض من القراءة. Why Imam Bukhari has taken this view is because according to him, those narration which we have just now heard too, and there are many other narration which stops and prohibits people reading Quran in a state of impurity, Imam Bukhari did not accept those ahadith as an authentic ahadith, and accordingly in his view he says that it is allowed. Now this is the matter of ulama and fuqaha. I would suggest that a person should remain with adab and respect, and as much as he could avoid, that is the best for him, as it is mentioned from the jamhur of fuqaha as well. Number 5, while a person is in a state of impurity, al-makthu fil masjid, staying in masjid is also not allowed. There are some supporting hadiths as well mentioned in here. Now if a person is in the masjid and something happen where he is afflicted with the heavy type of impurity, he should leave the masjid and he should try to keep himself pure. It is not allowed. Now a hadith is also quoted here, but I would like to cutting it short. Now there are some ghusl which is mustahab. It is not must, it is not mandatory, it is not wajib, but it is better and recommended. What are those mustahab ghusl? Number 1, ghusl Jum'ah. It is the sunnah and recommendation from Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This is also supported with the hadith, and we all know there is no need of going into the detail here. Number 2, ghusl al-Eidain. On the day of both Eid, Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Fitr, this is also recommended. Number 3, ghuslu man ghassala mayyitan. A person who give bath to mayyit and a dead person, that person also, for him it is recommended to take shower. It is not mandatory, it is recommended. Number 3. Number 4, ghusl al-ihram. When a person is taking ihram, that time taking ghusl is not farz, it is recommended, it is sunnah. Number 5, ghusl dukhuli Makkah. Even you have already taken ghusl, you put on your ihram, but now you are entering in Makkah, where you are going to actually see Al-Kaaba, and you are entering in the area of Haram. That is also recommended, person should take ghusl. It is mentioned the hadith also that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, before entering Makkah, he has taken ghusl. So following his footstep, it is definitely become mustahab and sunnah. Number 6, ghuslul wuquf bi Arafah. When a person is going to perform his actual part of Hajj, and the mandatory part of the Hajj, which is staying in the plain of Arafah, ghusl is not mandatory, but yet if he take ghusl and go there, it is recommended for him. And that is also mentioned here with the hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhuma, that كان يغتسل لإحرامه قبل أن يحرم ولدخول مكة ولوقوف عشية عرفة. That Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to take ghusl before he put ihram on, before he entered in Makkah, and on the night of Arafah. It is means before he is going to proceed for Arafah, he used to take ghusl. Arkanul ghusl. Now, what are the rukn and the parts of ghusl? What we need to do? What are the fara'is? What are the sunnah? So, لا تتم حقيقة الغسل المشروع إلا بأمرين. Ghusl cannot be completed until two things has been done in it. Number one, النية إذ هي المميزة للعبادة عن العادة. Person has to have an intention. Obviously, intention does not need that you have to say some words, but when you are going towards the ghusl khana, your intention is obviously clear that why you are taking this ghusl. If it is for an obligatory reason, that is also in your mind. And if you are taking ghusl for Jum'ah, or by washing dead body, or by Eid time or Jum'ah time, then automatically this intention comes in your mind. So number one is intention. And number two, ghuslu jami'il a'dha. That no matter what and how, but entire body has to be washed by water. Each and every hair and each and every area of your body need to be covered with the water. Now, for example, just to fulfill these two conditions, however you like, if you just open up a tap on your head and you cover your body with the water and you had an intention, you are pure. Okay? And if you just go jump into the swimming pool, your ghusl is done. Whether you are going through, first from here or there or what, you just go without any tartib, but your ghusl will be done. But now we are coming in the sunnah, doing the things the way Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do, that will become sunnah. So these are two parts obligatory in ghusl. So essence of ghusl is having intention, and number two, covering all of your body part with the water. And now sunnah. يُسَنُّ لِلْمُغْتَسِلِ مُرَاعَاتُ فِعْلِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ فِي غُسْلِهِ. It is recommended for a believer to follow the footstep of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam in his ghusl. How Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to do his ghusl? يَبْدَأُ بِغَسْلِ يَدَيْهِ ثَلَاثًا. Number one, he used to wash his both hands with water up to the wrist. Now, again, the wuzu and the ghusl, everything for us in the time of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was totally different. So it will become much easier for us to do everything, but yet you have to follow the reason for this. At that time was different, which is not needed here in our time, our ghusl khana, but yet following the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is recommended. Okay, so ghaslu yadayhi salasan, because we don't have balti and you don't have, people they are used to with this all. Some of them they don't, right? So in that, like you are just using the shower pipe, and then for that you don't need anything to keep that pipe pure or anything. So you don't need to wash everything in tartib, but still following sunnah, number one. Number two, ثُمَّ يَغْسِلُ فَرْجَهُ, and that is, person should clean his private part. This is number two. ثُمَّ يَتَوَضَّأُ وُضُوءًا كَامِلًا كَالْوُضُوءِ لِلصَّلَاةِ. Number three, he should completely make wuzu the way he makes for salah. وَلَهُ تَأْخِيرُ غُسْلِ رِجْلَيْهِ إِلَىٰ أَن يُتِمَّ غُسْلَهُ. And person should delay washing his feet until the ghusl is over. This is also not applying our ghusl khana. Some of the ghusl khana, where the things, water remain, there, and you are not sure whether your feet is clean and stuff like that. So it is recommended here that you should delay washing your feet until you come out from the bathing area. But here we don't need this. So this is also إذا كان يغتسل في طست ونحوه ثم يفيض الماء على رأسه ثلاثا. After making wuzu, he should pour water 3 times on his head. Now 3 times, here you just open up the tap and that will go straight. Okay. And if you are using balti and things, then you put it 3 times. ثم يفيض الماء على رأسه ثلاثا مع تخليل الشعر. make sure that you put your fingers pass finger over the hair. If your hair is thick, then water should reach everywhere. That is number 4. Number 5. ثم يفيض الماء على سائر البدن بادئا بالشق الأيمن. Now you have to pour water everywhere on the body, but how? Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to do, to begin from the right shoulder, and then on left shoulder, and then he just go randomly anywhere. But to do in sequence, starting from here. So if you are using the shower, then you just put it over here, and then start pouring everywhere. So ثم يفيض الماء على سائر البدن بادئا بالشق الأيمن ثم الأيسر مع تعاهد الإبطين, making sure that your armpit, everything has to be passed by water, and making sure that you cleaning every part properly. ثم يفيض الماء على سائر البدن بادئا person should try to make pass his finger over the ear, inside the ear as well, والسرة, belly button as well, وأصابع الرجلين, and making sure that making khilal of the foot, both the fingers inside also. You try to make sure that water would reach everywhere. وأصابع الرجلين وذلك ما يمكن دلكه من البدن. And then a person should try and rub the body with the soap, and clean it properly the way person fits and suits according to his habit. But Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to have things which could replace the soap of today. He used to make sure that his body clean, and he tried to use those things. وَأَسْلُ ذَلِكَ كُلُّهُ مَا جَاءَ عَنْ عَائِشَةَ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهَا. All these things is not just mentioned by fuqaha. This is taken from the hadith of Aisha radiyallahu anha. Aisha radiyallahu anha says, أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان إذا اغتسل من الجنابة يبدأ فيغسل يديه. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to make ghusl from his janaba, heavy type of impurity, he used to do exactly in a manner we have seen number by number here. ثم يفرغ بيمينه. I think I would just avoid the hadith because all of the parts was covered here, and that is what Aisha radiallahu anha's narration, and this hadith is mentioned in Sahih al-Bukhari, reported by Aisha radiallahu anha. So this is all sunnah of the ghusl. Now, ghuslul mar'ati ka ghuslil rajul. There is no difference between ghusl of the women and ghusl of the men. They are same. There are some masail which is related to women, but at this time we'll try to avoid, and that should be actually designated sister who could explain to the woman more better. That is better. There are a few important things need to keep in our mind regarding ghusl, and that is mentioned as a fawaid. Like last time we seen in wuzu also, they have mentioned few fawaid. So here are some masail. يجزئ غسل واحد عن حيض وجنابة أو عن جمعة وعيد أو عن جنابة جمعة إذا ترى الكل لقول رسول. If a person has several reasons at the time, there is a day of Eid or day of Jum'ah, and you are afflicted with the heavy type of janaba, and you have washed the body of the mayyit and all things together, if you make one ghusl, that is sufficient for behalf of every reason. This is one faidah. Number 2, إذا اغتسل من الجنابة لم يكن قد توضأ يكون غسل الوضوء. If a person, while he is making ghusl after having heavy type of janaba, and he did not make wuzu, his ghusl will be valid. Without wuzu, ghusl will be valid. Like some of the people still bring this question. They say, can we, like if I don't make wuzu after ghusl, then my ghusl is valid. That person should keep in mind that wuzu is the sunnah of ghusl. But if you forgot, or maybe you have just jumped in the swimming pool, or you open up the tap on your head, and you did not make wuzu, automatically you will be pure, your ghusl is valid, but it is adab, and it is following the sunnah of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to make wuzu. This is number 2. Number 3, يجوز للجنوب والحديد زرة الشعر وقص الظفر والخروج وغيره الكراهية. Okay. It is important for those, male or female, who has like a heavy, thick hair, And if they are making ghusl of janaba, they should try and make proper ghusl of the hair, where nothing can remain untouched by water. Number 4, لا بأس بدخول الحمام إن سلم الداخل من النازل. Okay, hammam. Actually, this concept is here as well. Olden days, this hammam used to be there too. That people go where the common area of taking ghusl. It says that you are allowed to go as long as there is no immodesty and bihayai. If people are like, especially here we go, the gyms and where they make ghusl, they do not care. They become naked and everybody is walking and they don't even feel shame about it. So I think we are not supposed to be going in those areas and we need to avoid. But yet, if those kind of hammam where people are taking precaution, like let's say if a Muslim area where everybody is abiding by the rules, regulation, and it is like designated area for the male and female, and even males are behaving the way it should be behaved, and the females are behaving the way they should be behaved according to deen of Allah, then definitely in common hammam we can go. But if the swimming pool, common hammam where the things are not preserved the way we need it, it should be totally avoided. This is what the recommendation here. Number 5, لا بأس بتنشيف الأعضاء بمنديل ونحوه في الغسل والوضوء. After making ghusl wuzu, there is nothing wrong. Person should wipe it through towel or through any kind of means, because there is no such thing that person should not wipe it out. If this kind of mention coming from some people, then is not right. Number 6, يجوز للرجل أن يغتسل بقية الماء الذي اغتسل منه المرأة. Okay, if a person has used water and then remaining water after someone has made ghusl, it is absolutely pure, and the next person can use that water even though someone has done a ghusl and that is the remaining water. Nothing wrong for this. Number 7, لا يجوز الاغتسال عريانا بين الناس. It is not allowed to make ghusl while person is naked in front of people. لأن كشف العورة محرم. It is because it is haram in front of people, even though male in front of male, female in front of female, it is absolutely haram. فإن استتر بثوب ونحوه فلا بأس. It is if a person is taking precaution in order to cover their private area or the area of the satar, then definitely it is allowed. فقد كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تستره فاطمة بثوب ويغتسل. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he used to make ghusl, his daughter Fatima radiallahu anha used to hold the cloth, and then Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to remain in privacy, and then he used to make ghusl. So these are the fawaid. Total 7 fawaid is mentioned. So ghusl is over.